from the bottom, now I'm at the top. This is the sound of a robot.
Once upon a time, the ancient builders, or humans, traveled down into the caverns that were rich of iron and neodymium crystals. They quickly found out about the strange effects on iron materials, experimenting with it by making their first magnetic contraptions and their first sentient robotic machine, the Teletor, which was able to control iron tools with the power of magnetism. This machine was also used to automatically create other machines, like the Boundroid and the Magnetron with its Basher, Howler, and Refiner variants. The Refiner being the biggest one to exist, also being able to be found in the magnetic caves as a structure. Next up, they created the Noder, which was used as some type of alarm. The other robots were used for the extraction of ores and mining in general, but at a certain time, these magnetic machines were overstressed by their makers. After that, the rest started to rebel against the humans, killing a majority and making the rest flee.
Uranium fever has gone and got me down.
Labs were created down in the caves, years before they turned into acid and radiation-filled caverns. Advanced humans wanted to harness the power of uranium and started to experiment with creepers, creating some into walking nuclear bombs, but also testing out the fear of cats and if they were still terrified of the felines. But one day, one of the experiments caused a huge explosion that spread a huge amount of the radioactive material, mutating the things that lived down there. The cats, some cockroaches, and underground fish. The leftover creeper experiments were able to escape the laboratories. There were now bits of debris, and some of the surviving scientists mutated with zombies and other monsters and turned into the strong and chaotic brainiacs. Millions of years ago, the dinosaurs used to roam the Minecraft world until the extinction event occurred. More than 90% of the dinosaur population and several unknown species died to the asteroid, but the 10% that survived thrived down below in the caves. They were able to survive due to the amber monoliths that kept the population in check and adapted from feathery or different color patterned skin to their modern looks. No one knows who built those monoliths though. Dinosaurs varied from herbivores like the Atlatidans to carnivores like the Tromosaurus. And even though their home was a wild and balanced underground world, it wasn't going to stay like that forever. One of the Atlatidans went rogue and went on a rampage, killing innocent dinosaurs and making some species go extinct. After a long reign, the Atlatidan got old and weak and lost the fight against a relative, being pushed into a volcano. That day, the Luxtructosaurus was born. Somehow, the Atlatidan was corrupted by the volcanic core and transformed into a satanic dinosaur demon. Volcanoes became suspiciously active more often. The other Atlatidans left their homeland out of fear of whatever monstrosity might rise back up, and they never returned ever since. Humans also lived in the primordial caves, making several cave paintings about not only the dinosaurs they interacted with, but also the vision they had about the Luxtructosaurus' return. The dark caves were the home of mammals like moles, mole rats. Dark caves made of those mammals their fertilizer called guano. But one time a strange and evil deity roamed those caverns, a dark force, a dark entity so-called the Oracle, which had several red glowing eyes and giant shadow arms. Though having a head of something on it, it had no face itself, only a giant red eye. This Umber Lord influenced the mammals and mutated them, making them have a huge hatred to light sources, since that was the Oracle's weakness. Every single creature obeyed it, except for the moths. Those were chill. So the moles were ordered to sacrifice the moths to the dark deity to transform them into watchers, which would listen to its orders. They did the same for the Vespers, transforming them into Forsakens, mastering fragments of the Oracle's dark force. Throughout every single offering or ritual, the arms of the Oracle would be visible. Same for its eyes floating around the vessel.
It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
The humans were very interested in the fish and other organisms and what benefits they could have for them. Though they were unaware of the fact that they were being stalked by a different species, the Deep Ones, which were composed of 4 other species where one of them was down to its last member. They weren't a civilization at that time but still worked together in small groups. They weren't bothered by the humans, their presence, until they started to attack the natural predators of the chasms, the Hullbreakers, with the help of their new creations, the Mind Guardians, inspired by the Guardians they stumbled upon in the ancient underwater monuments, which were also built by a parent race of the Deep Ones. The Deep Ones started to build up a hate towards the humans, but they didn't have the courage to fight off against them, until one specific Deep One stepped out and encouraged every other Deep One to fight alongside it. This crab-like creature was the bravest and strongest one to exist, the Deep One Hero. The war between the Deep Ones and the humans had begun with a giant army of Deep Ones, with the hero at the lead against the Mind Guardians, humans, and Triton, the giant submarine that would let go of several torpedoes. After a long battle for peace in their world, the Deep Ones won against the humans. The surviving humans had left all their research behind, even a strange controller. Some Mind Guardians are still roaming around the underwater facilities, but they're attached to anchors. But after the war had ended, the Deep One Hero, the one who had encouraged all the other species, had mysteriously disappeared.